Launched in 2016, Bulk Infrastructure has become one of Norway's largest data center companies. Peder Nærbø, founder and owner of the company, is here to talk about what the company has been up to. Peder, thanks a lot for talking to me. What's been driving your business for the last 2 years?
Well, the business has been very much focused on building the key infrastructure to enable, number one is Norway and the surplus of renewable energy in Norway. So we have completed the start off to the mega campus, N01 campus, down in Vennesla in southern Norway. So that is now ready with 3 data centers, 2 carrier hotels where we see carriers coming in. And we've also built a 2.5 megawatt data center as a test center. So that has been a focus, and also in Oslo we have Oslo Internet Exchange. So it's the rebuild of an old legacy data center, a massive building, an old printing press, which is now with a 14.5 megawatt own supply of energy. It's new carrier hotels in the buildings and plenty of colo space for customers to come in. And also we have been building a lot of fiber networks. So, which I mentioned earlier, Nordics needs more connectivity, especially diverse routes. So we've been focusing on actually how to get those routes, and I think we've been quite successful in getting large, scalable, new fiber routes into the Nordics.
But before we talk about the network side, which you also say was more of a challenge for the Nordics at the moment, and that's why you're expanding the network strategy. You've also announced recently a data center in Denmark. So it goes up to, the campus will go to 540,000 square feet. That's quite big.
Yeah.
Once fully built, 5 hectares.
I think what it says is it's 50,000 square meter of land, and we will start building data center in 1 megawatt increments, where we just keep developing as demands grow.
Up to how many megawatts?
Well, we about 5 to 10 megawatts is the sort of the project as it is now, but there is more land available, and we're happy to be hosted by Esbjerg commune, which is very keen to get more business there, of course, and very skilled in helping businesses to get in there. So we see this as a great opportunity for us to have a footprint in sort of the stepping stones into the Nordics, which is the southern Denmark.
And when do you expect to cut the ribbon?
Well, we hope to have a data center up and running by this time next year.
Okay.
So we do have some more time to enable for it, and the reason why we're there is because we are very much involved with subsea cables that are coming into the western coast of Denmark. So.
And do these subsea cables have anything to do with hyperscalers? How are those guys influencing your business?
They are to a great deal, because the hyperscalers, they showed the rest of the world that the Nordics is an attractive place to develop hyperscale data centers. And I think the reason is fairly simple. It's easy to do business here, and as many know, it's a cold climate, and we have very stable energy grid. And also, the sustainability in the power mix in the region is also very attractive. So altogether, it's a good place for the hyperscalers to be. But there is no reason why the smaller companies shouldn't join also. And they're influencing our business because we have been lucky to get involved with both Google and Facebook and build a transatlantic cable called the Havfrue together with Google, Facebook, and also Aquacoms. Okay. So we are able to build with highly skilled teams of subsea cable, because that's a technique that not everybody has under their wings. So I think that's a very good team to grow into that business with. So the first subsea cable we did was the Havfrue, and the Havfrue goes from New Jersey into the west coast of Denmark with branches to both Ireland and also Norway. So we will land into the N01 campus in particular. And also now we're developing further networks from Ireland across the UK into Denmark, and branching that also into Norway. So we're making new diverse paths. the hyperscalers, they are very much a key player for that, because we ask them what do they need, what do they see, which trends are they seeing their needs, and we need to be flexible. Bulk wants to develop and want to develop something which is attractive.
You want to bulk up.
Yeah.
But you're doing your bit to help with the networking challenge that's going on in the Nordics. What do you think the industry as a whole is doing to help, and what the government's doing, or what do they need to do to help?
Well, the government has done a lot across the Nordics. We have enabled, or they have enabled, for the data center to have a very minor tax on energy, which is attractive, of course. There is some challenge maybe to have predictability on that, because we have seen in some regions there are discussions about crypto mining as an activity where the intention of the lower energy tax was not perhaps meant for crypto mining.
Is Bulk doing any crypto mining?
We're not doing any crypto mining. But I have opinions about everything, so
we all do.
So I would say that you may not like the crypto mining industry, but I think the wave behind that is the blockchain industry is going to participate in a massive amount of data going forward. And I think a lot of these key players in the market that you see in regular data centers, they're also investing into the blockchain technology. And we see other industries also embracing that technology to improve the efficiency of transactions and other ways to enable for the market going forward. So I think that these crypto mining, speculative maybe, or may or may not be, those initiatives, they actually pave ways for other types of industry to come in the aftermath. Whether it's aftermath or alongside, that's yet to be seen. But I think they open up the course for going into the Nordics and utilize at least sustainable infrastructure in terms of hydropower or other renewable energy for crypto mining. And in the Nordics, we see a lot of those power producing entities. They're owned by the local people through their communes, and they are getting a power customer. And there is no other customers for that power because there's a huge surplus of power in the market in the Nordics. And as long as they go to the pockets where they have a big surplus, they should actually embrace a customer who's willing to at least buy their power. But of course, they don't contribute to other infrastructure like the core data center industry. They would need, fiber networks. They would need, resilience. They would need people. They would need a whole set of people to run the business, and also there are businesses that will be popping up. I think Google once said that, for every one person at their data center, they're seeing 5 jobs being created outside. And that's a very, very interesting thing. And of course, the crypto mining or blockchain doesn't support the same thing. So if you sell all your power you have based on, a very minor and a fractional business, I think that's the wrong way to do it. I think you need to embrace those key areas where you have, all the ingredients for the regular data center to grow, to embrace that and try not to get into too much of power selling onto the blockchain.
Okay, and then going back into Bulk again, last time we spoke was about 2 years ago, I think it was 2016, and the business was more or less around 2 billion Norwegian krone, or some sort of evaluation. You can correct me if I'm wrong there. Yeah. But what's the sort of value of the business nowadays, 2 years later?
Billions.
How many? A number?
No, it's not. It's hard to say a number. This year, we've been very cautious about what we do. So although it takes a long time, I've been working on the digital infrastructure now for a long time, and the investments are quite substantial. So we have been lucky to have, since we're also a real estate developer for industrial buildings, and that's used to be our core business and still is the core business. So that's making a good profit for us, and that money has been pushed into building this data center and fiber network system to support our next phase, which will be the sustainable digital platform for companies to come into. So we've already spent something like $130 million into that, but that's equity, because we don't have leverage on that, because we don't know when is the Nordics, and especially Norway, where we have most of our assets, going to hit it off, and we make very good solid profits. But we do see a lot of interest now for the Nordics and also into Norway, and very much so it's based on the networks that we're building, because people don't only just want to buy a network, they also want to see what's in the Nordic proposition.
Have you got plans to go out and look for more capital?
I'm always interested in capital.
Okay. Well, we all are.
Because with capital, I see opportunities. I see things that we cannot do on our own, and maybe it would be dedicated partners on individual projects, or it could be also taking in capital into bulk, like we did this summer, where we had a large investor coming in, taking a share into bulk infrastructure with the family of John Fredriksen, and they at least are a long-term investor and a professional investor, so that puts us on the map, of course. And we do see some transaction opportunities that both Base Farm and we hear Digiplex also, names in the market. We saw Telia sold to Digiplex one of their data centers in Denmark.
Would Bulk do the same thing? Would Bulk put itself out there in the market?
I think that's a tough one. There's certainly a lot of interest in the private equity sector to talk to us, and although we try to be as honest as possible, I'm always interested in the opportunities that they present. Sometimes I must say that they don't present much opportunities. They just want to assess a company and see how they might fit into their own strategy. They're not so bold on presenting opportunities. I'm an opportunity-driven person, and I see opportunities to enable sustainability, infrastructure, scalability into the international market, and where the Nordics can play a key role. That's where I want to be. That's where bulk is going to be in the future. So I think we should be a very good partner for anybody that wants to be in that segment and to partner up with.
Okay, Peder, thanks for talking to me.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Don't forget you can follow Data Economy on Facebook, LinkedIn and Twitter, and also visit the website on www.data-economy.com.